Good week so far. Enjoying it, making it happen. What's been the favorite part of your week? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. What's been your favorite part? Oh, last night's closing. There you go. Nice. How many were on the closing training last night? Nicole was. Very nice. Paula was. Teresa, what's up? Cami. Bunch of you. All right. Sweet. Okay. All right. Well, let's rock and roll. Let's go ahead and just get started. I don't think I have. Yeah, we can just get started. So go ahead and raise your, if you're on Zoom. Now, if you are not on Zoom, let me try to help you out. 1 second. Let's pull up that banner. There you go. If you want to jump on Zoom with me, it's higdongroup.com/free coaching. And we'll start with Nicole. So if you're on Zoom, raise your digital hand. You can click the react button, raise hand, and you'll go in order. And I'll cover as much as I can in an hour. I got 1 hour with you. All right, let's start with Nicole.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I had a question, and then I was wondering, I'm not sure how it works with the anointed brand, but can you like pray over me and see what my anointed brand is or something like that?
You know, it's tricky because I just, I've done that with a lot of people, and it's tricky because often it's the thing they really don't want to do, and I don't know if it's helpful. I don't know if it's helpful for me to tell them, and it's I don't know, but I'll pray about that. What's the question? Let's do the question first.
Okay.
That one's easy.
The question was, if you're sending a video to someone, do you want to ask them like when they can watch it and then send it when they can watch it instead of just sending it to them then, even though they can't watch it?
So that's a personal preference thing. I know people that do it. I know people that don't do that. Either work. The big thing is you have to ask permission to send the video. So sometimes people will skip that and they'll say, hey, hey, would you be open and taking a look at what I'm doing to make extra money? And the person says yes, and they'll say, here's a video, eat it, eat the video, right? They don't, you got to ask permission. Hey, I have a video that does a better job than I could do of explaining it. Would you be open to me sending it? Or if you prefer, and I don't know if it's 50-50, but I've seen both. Hey, how soon would you be able to watch it? And then send it to them. It's kind of personal preference. I don't think there's a big difference there, but you must ask permission. Don't send an unsolicited link. Okay. So let me see. I used to like dole out these anointed brands all the time, and then the people wouldn't do it. And then I'm just like, well, is this even helpful? Like me telling them this? Okay. So first of all, for those that may not know, I do talk about anointed brand in my latest book, Faith Driven Wealth. I suspect that's probably where you heard it, or maybe my coaching. So with you, I get to ask questions. What do you think it is?
I'm wondering. I'm starting to wonder if it's supposed to be that I'm supposed to share God more and like how I'm growing in my relationship with God. And but I sell like we raise horses, I sell skincare, and then we the app and different things. So I'm selling all this other stuff, but then I'm wondering if my focus is supposed to be more like helping people like get out of like distractedness of the crazy busy life that we live in, because that's what I keep doing, and then grow more in faith with God. But I'm not a minister. I've never done any. I haven't done any. I'm an engineer. So it's
You know what's funny is none of the apostles were ministers either. None. Don't tell anyone, but none of them went to seminary. Oh my goodness, right? Isn't that blasphemy? So it's, you know, your brand is who do I serve, right? And so there's 3 questions that I got in prayer to ask around a brand, right? Who do I help? How do I help them? Why should they listen to me? Who do I help? How do I help them? Why should they listen to me? And those 3 questions can really help you. And so it's, if you think about what you've been through, right? What have not necessarily what you're currently going through, but what have you been through and overcome, or you learned from, or your toughest struggles, etc. Like, is there any that may jump out at you?
This year's just been really rough because like my husband got super sick and he was hospitalized for like 14 days and almost died and stuff. And so it's just been like a very transformative year, I guess.
And it doesn't, you know, there's a difference between a scar and a wound, right? So, you know, sometimes it's not wise for us to teach from an open wound, you know, but a scar, right? We learn from that scar. And so are there any, you know, scars that you have made it through that wisdom might benefit someone? Is there any that come to mind?
I don't know. I've done all kind of, I was in the military before, but that was like a while ago. And then I mean, we have like a farm, I have kids, but I don't know if there's like any scars per se. I don't know.
Like things that you overcame. So I would pray on this.
Okay.
And that's so, I don't have the book here, but there's a book that really helped me by Graham Cook called Crafted Prayer. And because there was a time where I didn't know, is God calling me to ministry? Because I just love scripture and I love bringing people to Christ and all of that. And I like what Christy's saying. Think younger, Nicole, like childhood, teenage years. Sometimes it's from that. And you know, when I prayed about it, he gave it to me very clearly. Like I was like, should I stay in business? Should I go to ministry? What do you want me to do here? And I prayed and I followed the instructions of that book, Crafted Prayer, and it answered it perfectly. And you know, I've been on that path ever since. And so I would pray about that. I would get into prayer over that. And sometimes it may not be like a direct path. Like, okay, one day I'm doing this and next day I have a totally different brand, right? It might be like a gradual, you know, kind of thing. For me, it was a little gradual until it was crystal clear. And then boom, you know, when, you know, I got in prayer that I'm to work with sales teams and leaders. That's my deal. I just started getting hired like crazy. I mean, I'm getting hired like almost every day by some team somewhere, you know, sales team. And so he let me get there. And so as long as you keep seeking, you know, you will find it.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. You got it. All right. Is it Cammie?
Hi, Ray.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Add you here. There we go.
So I was yesterday live with the training. It was really good.
Yeah. Cool.
So I was just like, I'm trying to understand a little bit more about my process and what I'm doing.
You got a helper there.
Yeah. So I work with Enagic. Actually, I'm with Samara's team.
Cool.
So my process is basically I'm running ads through Meta. Then I have these 5 automated questions, and then it's just like my lead will click on the options. If one of the questions is a no, then I'll disqualify them right away. And then towards the end, I send this automated message if they made it to the end that says, I will be reaching out to you within the next 24 hours. And, the question before that is that, are you willing to put aside some time, like it's 35 minutes to watch my free web class, right? So they know that I'm going to be sending them a link.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I contact them, it's me like, hey, it's me, it's Cami now. So this is where I need your advice. So I kind of like want to understand more a little bit their situation before I send the link. So I always ask them like, hey, what is happening in this season of life that is that have you looking for more opportunities outside your current circumstances? So they will respond that whatever they feel. I'm usually aiming to stay-at-home moms that want to make an income while they're with their kids. And then like after they answer that question, then I'll wait. Okay, then as I mentioned it before to you, I have a 35-minute web class. Are you willing to set that time aside within the next 24 hours? Mm-hmm. And then they say like, yes, no, yes, send it over. And I send it over the link, and some disappear, some don't say anything.
Yeah.
But then my follow-up question was like, let me know because I can track who's being registered for the web class or not. So I see if the person that I send the link registered to actually watch the web class or not. So if they did, then I'm like, hey, I saw that you registered for the class. Tell me which questions you have. But they never respond. And then that's when they ghost. And then I kind of like giving like a week for me to follow up.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
So first, twice when you talked about getting on the web class, it sounded like it's a favor to you. Okay, you said something along the lines of, hey, I have a 35-minute web class. Would you be able to get on there? It's almost like a pretty please. I'd really like you to. And so you need posture there. Hey, for us to determine if this is a fit for you or not, you will need to go through the 35-minute web class. If you're able to do that in the next 24 hours, then I can follow up with you quickly. So you need to change your posture there. It's not a pretty please. Would you pretty please watch my theme? And so you need, and I see this all across the board with Enagic, is you need to look at every single unit of communication and where can you increase posture. And so if you're not, so like, I'll give you an example. Like I try to think about posture in every unit of communication. So if I was meeting someone and let's say, I was in a direct sales company or MLM or whatever, and I wouldn't say to them, hey, if you give me your information, hey, can I get your information so I can follow up? Because that sounds like it's beneficial to me. I would say, hey, listen, if you'd like to give me your information, I promise I'll follow up. See, it's just a tiny little tweak, but that's a benefit to them, and it's postured. And so it's not, hey, would you be able to watch this? Hey, can you watch this? It's none of that. It's for us to determine if this is a fit or not. You'd need to watch this. If you can watch it in the next 24 hours, I'd be happy to follow up with you quickly. And then if you reach out to them and you're like, hey, did you get a chance to, I mentioned this last night. Hey, did you get a chance to watch the video? And they're like, no, I had to, feed my goldfish. I had to perm my hair. I had to wind my watches or whatever. They have some kind of baloney excuse. then I'm going to say, hey, no problem. I just got to prioritize my time and get back with people that did watch it. So it's a little bit of a takeaway. So you need more posture in that specific part of your process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if it's okay, can I add something?
Yep.
One of the objections that I deal with when I kind of like partner in the process is the partner making the decision as well, because they are relying on their finances. Is it better to include them in the process? Like at one point, like, because of course, like the whole conversation is with the mom all the time. And then if they decide to jump in the call, then I'm trying to aim to have the partner as well in that call.
Yeah.
Because,
So yeah, the biggest thing, the biggest distinction is to, if you've been talking with one and not both, is to solidify and ask, hey, is this something you can see yourself doing, first of all? And if they say yes, say, okay, well, here's my advice. Ask for support, not permission. Go to your spouse and say, this is something I really want to do. I feel like I'm called to do it. They're going to teach me how to do it, and I would like to get your support. Asking for support, not permission, is very different. If they're saying, hey, is it, can I, it's you're like teaching them posture right away. And so ask for support, not permission. If you can get them both on, great, get them both on. But if you haven't this whole time, and then you're like, oh, geez, then, okay, then, teach them, ask for support, not permission. Like I feel it with my wife. My wife comes to me and says, hey, I really want to do this thing. Like I remember, the last house we sold, she came to me and she's like, hey, I would really like to buy a horse. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, will this horse make us money? No. Got it. Will it save us money? Because she was currently leasing a horse, right? I'm like, okay, well, us buying it, it'll save us money, right? No. Okay. Are you going to compete with this horse? Maybe. If you compete, will it make money? No. And so I'm like, got it. So you're just asking for support. Yes. Okay, go get it. And so she got her horse product. And so support, not permission.
Thank you. That was really good.
You'll be shocked at how that helps them. Just that act, because most in this context, right? Most women don't know how powerful that is. And they're constantly asking for permission for everything. And when they're like, oh, wait a minute, for most husbands, their number one priority is to make their wife happy, for most, not all. And when they realize, oh my goodness, I just asked for support, not permission, and I got it, like it will change their life. Very powerful. Cool? Helpful? All right, you got it. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. A good book around that sort of thing is Our Time, Money, Freedom. Both Jess and I wrote this. There's only a couple books that we wrote together, but this one is 10 Simple Rules to Redefine What's Possible and Radically Reshape Your Life. Lot of meaning in this book. I share, about some of my past wounds. She shares about some of hers. It's a very, very powerful book. Yeah. All right. So we'll go to Bonnie. Bonnie, what's happening?
Hey, Ray.
Hey.
So I wrote this down so I don't forget. So
Okay.
I noticed that I get stuck in my head, questioning if I'm doing the right thing, trying to be perfect, worrying about what to say, and trusting myself. How do I tap into the ability to just feel what is the right move instead of staying stuck in my head? Because I've lost that ability to feel it. I used to be able to feel it in my heart.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, feel is an interesting thing, right? You can't have a feeling without having a thought. Bunch of neurotransmitters, neural networks that if you have a thought that you accept, surrender, and believe, then the neocortex communicates to the limbic brain, which is the chemical brain, and it will create these amino acid peptides to shoot down your spinal cord to hit the adrenal glands and create the chemicals of feelings, of emotions. And so, that those chemicals are cells, as the cells die off, they inherit the traits of the past cells. So we typically feel like doing what we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not normal to feel like doing something we have not been doing. And so this is why day one is the hardest day. This is why, going to the gym after not going for so long is so difficult, because you have no cell in your body that craves it. But once you go for 20 days, day 21, you're like, can't wait, right? You want to go. And so there's a kind of two different things. I'm going to give you two different steps here, I guess. So a big mistake that people make is they wait to feel like doing the thing they haven't been doing, and you'll probably be waiting forever, right? Because it just doesn't happen. So there's that. As far as asking for guidance, okay, so James 1:5 says, when ye lack wisdom. Are you faith-based at all, or? Yeah. So James 1:5 says, when ye lack wisdom, ask, and it'll be given to you liberally and without reproach. So the way that I live my life is I am constantly in prayer of, okay, Lord, what's the next best thing that I should do? Constantly. And, it's sometimes it's something very basic. Sometimes it's something very big. And, and so I know that if I'm being nudged, is what I call it, if I'm being nudged to do a thing, then, and that's what I'm getting in prayer, then I've just learned to trust it and go and do that thing. And a lot of times I don't feel like doing that thing. Let me see. Let me think of an example.
I can tell you kind of what the situation is I own a salon and spa. It's running on its own. It's very successful. I don't even have to do anything there anymore except to own it. Good. And then I own a healing center. That's going well. And now I have an opportunity to either sell a new product that's coming on the market to the US, very new to the US, or buy in as a franchise. So I'm like, I keep asking God, like, what do you want me to do? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And I just,
So there's other questions I've learned. So what am I supposed to do, or what should I do is it's a very basic question. Try this out because of your background. I think this would be very interesting for you. So I actually have it right here. So every Monday I go through, and I got this in prayer to do. So every Monday I go through my business journal, and I have a list of things that God's nudged me to pray about. And what I used to do is say, okay, Lord, what should I do about this? What should I do about that? What should I do about this? Very kind of servanthood, right? And servanthood is most people aren't obedient. So servanthood's better than not, but the highest degree is sonship and daughtership. So sonship and daughtership is not just what should I do, it's what are you doing?
Okay.
So I experienced a level of freedom I had never had my entire life when I started asking the Lord, what are you doing? And so these are my different, categories. And I'm like, okay, Lord, what are you doing for this project? Lord, what are you doing for this client? What are you doing for me? What are you doing for, this group? And so every Monday I go through this, pretty long list, And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I ask all these questions. And then just like Jesus taught, I pray your will, on earth as it is in heaven. So I thank him that it's done. Okay. And so let me go back to some interesting weeks. Because lately he's just been growing the heck out of everything. Okay. So 1 week, this is back in July. A lot of things started shifting in July. It's very interesting. And so in July, I said, okay, what are you doing with this project? I'm positioning the right people. I'm leading you and one other person, and I'm directing your steps. Okay, got it. What are you doing for this project? I'm growing it, I'm redeeming it, and I'm making it massively profitable. Okay, got it. What are you doing for this? I'm molding it, I'm shaping it, I'm preparing it. Interesting. And then let me see if I got one in here. Okay, so back then I had a sales team that I was working with, and I don't know, it didn't feel kind of right, but I'm like, okay, Lord, what are you doing? I'm letting them go. Okay, do I need to do anything? No, it'll work out. And the next week they gone. I didn't have to say anything, right? He handled it. And so this gave me a level of freedom I've never had. So all of a sudden I knew, what's the status of my investments? What's the status of this project? What's the status of this company? What's the status of this? And so I would ask the Lord, what are you doing? What are you doing in regards to the franchise? Now, I don't have one on here, but there were definitely times where I prayed, what are you doing? And I got nothing. Like I prayed, I'm like, wait, you're not doing anything for this? Should I be doing anything? No. Gone. I'm out. And so this year he's had me drop out of 6, 7 different projects that I thought I had to be a part of and I was supposed to be a part of. He's had me drop all kinds of stuff. And every, what's that?
How did you get that answered? Like, is it very profound? Like, you know what I mean? Versus like, I've tried to do that and I don't know if I'm just logically thinking too much.
So it's just, so if we
or
go,
if I have a fear around it,
So if we go back to, Garden of Eden, right? The tree of knowledge, right? Our logic, the tree of life, right? That's who we're being in our heart. And so it's, someone who's very analytical and very logical will often have these, clashes. And so, all I can suggest is someone who's highly, because I've just learned to trust, right? So I just like, he's had me do very weird things that completely lack logic until they didn't. And so I've just,
well, did you ever trust and then it didn't go well? You know what I mean? It's like it didn't go in your favor. Like I've trusted different businesses before and they just didn't pan out. Or maybe
you've trusted different what?
Like business opportunities. And then they didn't turn out the way I expected them to turn out.
Yeah, I'm saying I trust him.
Yeah.
I don't trust, this Proverbs tells us that fear of man is a snare, trust in the Lord and be safe. And so he's revealed to me people I thought I could trust, couldn't trust. So he's revealed that. But I trust. And here's, if you read the rest of James, 1:5. So James 1:5 through 8 is, when you lack wisdom, ask, and it'll be given to you liberally and without reproach. But when you ask, do not doubt. Or you're like the sailor of the seas, tossed and turned by the waves of the seas. You're double-minded in all your ways. Don't expect a response from the Lord.
Right.
Kind of harsh, right? And so it's and when I say I hear in prayer, it's not like I hear some external voice like James Earl Jones or Clint Eastwood or something. It's my own internal voice, but it's words I wouldn't use.
Right.
And it was so interesting. Like when I started praying and doing this journal, like he basically tells me the status of everything that I'm working on. And so I think about it. I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's why that thing wasn't growing. That's why this didn't work out. That's why they said no. And it just made so much sense to me. And so I would not just, Lord, should I do this franchise? Should I do that? Lord, what's in your heart about this franchise? Lord, what are you doing about this franchise? What are you doing about this new product? And so, get in and ask, questions like that. Lord, what would make your heart happy? Love asking that question. It's such a fun question. So helpful. And I do talk a lot about that. I suspect by your question, maybe you've read it. Have you read Faith Driven Wealth?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do talk a lot about that in there. But I also talk, I wasn't, I've definitely grown since this book was released, but there's a lot of obedience stuff in the Faith Driven Network Marketer. Have you read that one?
Okay. I got the Audible.
So chapter 1 is a handful. He's since had me do crazier things, but a handful of just the wild things that the Lord's had me do that I'm like, why am I doing this? And then all of a sudden it's revealed why. And so that's a really fun chapter.
I didn't get to that one yet, but I will.
Yeah. Check it out. All
right,
right.
thank you.
Rooting for you. Awesome. Okay, we go to Amy.
Hi, Ray.
Oh, what happened? Uh-oh.
Okay. I have a lead in my pipeline right now. We had an amazing sales call last week, and then, the end of the week previous. And then we were supposed to have our follow-up call the Monday when she was looking into finances, and she went very quiet. So I reached out a couple of times, in regards to her missing the call for one, and then offering support because the call was so good. Like she cried from the impact of what she could create with this opportunity. I also work with Enagic. So now she did at least respond with, I'm running into some financial difficulty. I won't have access to money until this date. And I said, no problem. Are you open to jumping on a call either tonight or tomorrow so we can work out some options so you know how to move forward? Still no response, right? So I do believe that this is something that she really wants, and I do want to take a stand for her, but I also don't want to posture myself as, overly available to her as well. But I also want her to know that I am there to support her, because that is my position as a coach and an adjunct. I lead with love. Mm-hmm. And I'm a single mother myself. And so I really do call in these women, and I know how scary it can be, especially when it comes to finances. So I do hold a lot of space for these women while they're trying to find that courage, and while they're trying to transition from employee mindset to entrepreneurial mindset, because I understand how scary that can be.
Were these typed out conversations or phone calls?
There was text and voice note.
Okay.
Within a 2.
So I probably can't see the conversations, right?
Do you want me to read them? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. So actually, I have one audio. I can play it if you're open to it.
This is from her?
This is from me. No, from her. Yeah, who even knows where that one is? We're between 2 chats right now. So basically, she just said that there's a hiring freeze in her industry, in her state right now, but she'll have the finances available because she was looking into her 401k for investment, and she'll have the funds available on the 29th, right? And so
3 days from now is what you're saying.
Yeah, but this was on the 22nd. We had that conversation.
Okay.
The date. Yeah. So
if someone has given me that, if I feel like the call went well and someone's given me that specific of a day, it's one thing when they're like, hey, I'll reach out when funds are available. But if they're giving me a specific date like that, I think at that point I'll say, okay, great. listen, I got a lot of people that I'm talking to, let me just help them get going, but then I'll come back over to you and let's chat on the 29th kind of thing. Sometimes people say this, they get the money and then they go blow it on, something stupid, so but I think how I would probably handle that, if they're giving me a specific date, I'm going to tell them, hey, cool, no problem. Well, listen, I do have some people that are joining. Let me just focus on them in the meantime, and then I'm going to roll back to you on the 29th. How does that sound? That's what I would do. And then if it doesn't happen on the 29th, then I would enter into the, fighting for them and being as brave as, fighting for them, because we have to know, it's an interesting dynamic of, we have to know when to fight for the prospect, because, people are in tough situations, usually, not always, but because they made weak decisions. Now, not always, don't jump at me, don't send me letters or anything, but those of you watching, but a lot of times they've made poor decisions. And so, I'm going to give a little bit of grace there, but also be postured and then come back to her on the 29th is what I would do.
Okay, so it's a little too late for this particular situation because I've already kind of offered something and then there was silence again. I think that she's scared, but I also think that she wants it. So I guess I'll just wait till the 29th at this point as well. But I did also just want to say, I did send you a message after a call with Lacey that week, but I just wanted to say that prayer that you coached me on how to have conversations with God. And I hadn't really actually implemented it. I do just want to say out loud in this room that I implemented it, and the very next day prayer, a very long-standing wish was answered in prayer. Nice. And then more of it came, something unexpected, which was the prospect for love, which I had been completely closed off to. Yay. And through conversation, actually sharing about our coaching call with Lacey, with this person that my aunt introduced me to, it was just this weird, amazing, beautiful thing that came out of it. So I just wanted to express my gratitude to you personally.
Awesome. Yay.
Yeah, really great work, Ray. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
God is good. God is good. All right. Appreciate you. That's awesome. All right. 1 second here. Man, so Douglas, you sent me a message. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I'm sorry. I just don't know what that means. Darlene.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you. I'm not really going to ask you hardly anything. I just want to say thank you for when you prayed with me on the 5-day one that you did.
Yeah.
It's never come back into my mind about not being able to forgive myself.
Yay.
So when you prayed that day, it radically changed me from that point.
Aww.
So that was a huge thing in my life. So I can't thank you enough. Yay. I can't thank you enough for who you are and your belief in the Lord and how you do your coaching. I'm in no matter what. So when my financial situation changes, I am going to go on some of your paid coaching programs. That's a given.
Yay.
But
awesome.
Yeah. But the issue is because I got caught in the COVID thing, and I had sold a house. I had my mom. I'm not going into a big sob story because that's not what this is about. And the market fell through literally. So I lost almost $100,000 on my home when I sold it. Yeah. And so I was already going backwards. And then when COVID hit, lost my job, lost everything. And it's been how many years now? So I'm at the place where I honestly could not afford to come on these calls. I really don't even have it. I have a hard enough time trying to survive right now. I'm living. Don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. That's something I don't really tell people around me.
Sure.
But I just want to thank you because it means a lot to me that when you offer the freebies right now. But I'm very grateful for that. And you need to know that God's really used you big in my life. And I do what you do. I pray in the morning. I always have, that's always my time. If I don't, then I get really messed up for the day. I just need that time with the Lord.
Yes.
but you took it to a different level that I haven't done in the past.
Mm.
And one day you saved me a lot of heartache because I followed your procedure. So I want you to know that I am following what you say,
Yeah.
and I will continue because I really believe God showed me you were the person.
Mm.
So, and I did a coaching program. I've done all that. I can go do all that stuff. I'm just not personally ready for any of that. I'm just not
Sure.
at this point.
Totally.
But
100%.
I will be at some point. But I'm in the network marketing business in the health arena, and that's where God told me I was going to be going into before I even knew what it was.
Yeah.
So he's put me back in that arena. So anyways, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and God bless you.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was nudged to share some scripture with you. So, and I like, you know, I don't prefer this for all scripture, but I like Matthew 5:3-4 in the Message Bible. It says, "You're blessed." When
Matthew
you're,
5.
Matthew 5:3-4 in the Message
Oh, 3 and
Bible,
4. Okay.
MSG. It says, "You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there's more of God. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you."
Wow.
It's good verses. Good verses.
That's
So,
Thank you.
all right. Well, God bless you. Appreciate you being on here.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. Okay. Henry, you coming on camera or no? What do you think? Henry, he's my regular.
Yes.
What's up, buddy? You get one question, bro. I gotta warn you every week. Every week you come at me with 52 questions. You get one, man. What's the most important question you can ask?
Yeah, just one question because I'm doing what you told me last week, so I'm implementing that and trying to do that right now. So the question is, I do have a lot of business owners because on social media I do go into like business owners how to I give tips of how to start and then the pros and cons of starting a business. So when I do and want to send the video that I have from the company, it's usually targeting people on the 95. So how would I do it with them that they own a business?
Okay, you're wanting to send a video to people who own a business? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, I can't send them the video of the company videos because the company video is more of a towards 9 to 5 and how you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, you could just explain that. I mean, business owners were my number one type of people that I signed up. I signed up a lot of restaurant owners, pawn shop owners, club owners, business owner. I mean, I signed up majority, and we didn't have because keep in mind, business owner is still an entrepreneur. Business owner is still an individual, and so you can explain to them, hey, with you owning a business, this might be beneficial to the people that work with you, for you, whatever, but you don't need a whole lot of translation there.
Oh, okay. So still sending.
I mean, we signed up executives, we signed up, I remember, so one of the more memorable ones, there was a guy in the company who owned 76 Domino's franchises. Now, to buy one Domino's franchise, it's $250,000. And that doesn't include the mozzarella or the pepperoni. He had 76. And he joined as a regular rep. He joins as a rep. He's doing meetings. He's doing all the things. And so, I prefer talking to business owners because they understand profit and loss. They understand passive income. They understand opportunity usually more than employee mindset kind of people. So I actually prefer business owners, but you don't have to have some big, translation. And by the way, business owners also love to travel. They love freedom. They love passive income. They love cash flow. They get that better than most employees. And so you don't have to explain that to them. You don't have to say, okay, now this talks about other, they'll get it.
Yeah, because that's my mindset. I've been targeting more business owners. I've gone to a bunch of restaurants.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
But I don't know. Do I still send them the video?
Yeah. Well, the reason if you're focused on opportunity, which it sounds like you are, the reason you want to send a video is you send a video for duplication reasons. So if Henry's doing the presentation and the jazz hands, then they think, oh, I have to do a presentation. I don't know if I have time for that. You send a video so you can say, hey, by the way, if you want to grow this business, all you would do is get people to watch this video. So that's more duplicatable. And so, you know, it's not, and even introducing that, it's literally the fastest fast start that can ever exist is, hey, if you want to build a business, all you would do is get people to watch this video that I'm sending you right now.
Okay.
So yes, I would send the video. I do not like, I mean, I had people, because, you know, if you build a brand, people will come to you and say, hey, I want to join your company. I don't even know what company you're in. I had people do that. I would not let them sign up without watching the video, because I didn't want them to think that they're going to have people do that to them. I wanted them to understand that, you know, this is the process. So even though they were willing to buy, I'm like, hey, let's watch the video. Let's make sure it's a fit for you. And by the way, if you want to grow the business, you get people to watch this video. So yes,
Okay.
send the video. Cool.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
proud of you, man. Keep going, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, we got Victoria.
Hi, Ray.
Hey,
How are you doing?
good.
I'm coming to you. This is probably the second time we've ever spoke, and the first time was about hearing God's voice. And so since then, I've been in constant prayer, and I'm still not hearing God's voice like I thought I would be hearing it. But
How did you think you would hear it? How did you
like
think you'd
daily,
hear his
like,
voice?
I would ask the question and I would get this answer. So that's what I thought. You know, like, you know, God, do you want me to do this today? Or God, what do you want this to happen? Or, you know, and I thought I would get more direction. But I will have to say, God has opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I even understood, you know, about what's going on around me, about different things. So, you know, I did think that I would hear his voice daily. So that was an anticipation that it hasn't occurred yet, maybe. I don't know. But
So just, I think, you know, it's interesting. I heard Graham Cook say this, and it was really helpful. He said, you want to believe in God's ability to speak to you more than your disability. And so sometimes we can hold on to our disability and disability can be a lot of different things. And you know, you could also look at disability, you know, I talk about in Faith Driven Wealth, idols of the heart. So Ezekiel 14:2-5 says, if they come to me with idols in their heart, I'll answer them according to the idols in their heart. And idols of the heart are, what are we emotionally attached to that may supersede our trust in the Lord? And so for me, I had things that I would either not get answers on or get incorrect answers on. And because I had such an emotional attachment to a thing, some people are emotionally attached to something that doesn't serve them. Let's just say that. And so believe in his ability more than your disability. And, you know, and be willing to, you know, ask different questions. So I'll hit you with some good questions. Because we do like these prayer immersion things. So, Lord, do I believe what you believe about me? And then, of course, what do you believe about me? What gift do I need from you right now? What is my current situation making me unlearn about me and you? I got a lot of answers to that one. What old habits are you fixing in me? What are you exchanging them for? How do you see my situation and what are you opening up to me? And if you're someone that your mind is always racing or you're hyper analytical, then I would listen to a good 30 minutes of worship before you even ask any questions, at least in the beginning. Because we got to calm that noise. We got to get, we got to simmer down. And it's a powerful process to really honor the process, because if, like, this is what's confusing to me. If there is, and obviously I believe there is, if there is a creator of the heavens and the earth that is willing to talk to us, shouldn't that be our number one priority? Like, what would be more important? Like, what could possibly, making money, that's more important? Like, it's crazy to me. Like, no. He made the humpback whale. He made the beavers. He made the octopus. Like if there's someone that created all of this, and we don't have to go through bureaucracy, red tape, go behind a veil, ask someone else to pray for us, right? Like, if we can directly go to him, then what could possibly be more important? And that may not mean, hey Lord, hey, should I have a coffee right now? Right? It may mean, let me get into honor and worship. Let me invest some time in this relationship. Let me get on my knees for the next 45 minutes and just talk to me, Lord. Tell me, what do you think about me? What do you think about the situation? When I asked him, when I was going through a tough situation, I asked him, Lord, what do you think about this situation? And he said, it's perfect because it's drawn me and you together. And he was right. Without that situation, I would not have drawn us close. And so it's amazing. And he's amazing. And he wants to speak to you like that. He wants to talk to you. So I hope that helps. We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. We're going to end with Kim. Kim, what's happening?
Hi, that's amazing. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go. Nice to meet you, Ray. This is my first time here. I'm new to Rank Makers. Hi.
Nice.
Shayna is my longtime friend
Awesome.
and business partner.
She's great.
Yeah, it is awesome. She's awesome. And I'm really proud of everything we're doing together to build the business we are, really growing a lot, supporting each other. I have a vision, and so does she. And I feel invested, very invested. But and I could get into details of specific situations, but really today, in this whole week, I felt super lost and overwhelmed and feeling like nothing's working, and we've been exploring so much.
Anyone ever feel like that? Only all of us, right? Anyone ever feel like that? Yeah.
That's really nice to see.
So what
Yeah.
What came up for me right when you said that is, so Jesus performs this amazing miracle. They then get on this boat, right? And you think about first century Jewish boat, probably not a yacht, probably not an hazmat, probably not a 50-footer, probably doesn't have stabilizers or anything. And so they get in this rickety little boat, and storm comes, right? And the apostles, who are us, right? We're all freaking out, like, he's sleeping, right? Jesus just napping on the boat, right? And we're like, he's going to let us die, right? And so it's in our storms, we think God isn't there, but freaking out is optional. So the top 3 skill that I've learned is, in every situation, I turn to God. So when a lawsuit came, I looked at the lawsuit and I said, all right, Lord, what are we doing about this? And I just respond, it's fine. Okay, got it. Right? No problem. Stress, freaking out, being upset about it, totally optional. Jesus didn't wake up and be like, oh crap, you're right. Oh man, y'all almost died, man. He's like, peace, all good. It's all good. And so it's, freaking out is optional. God is with us in the storm. And sometimes that storm is there to draw us closer. So I saw a meme that said, bless me or break me, but draw me closer. And it's just, that's a powerful way of thinking. I remember a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, I don't know now, but about a year and a half ago, I just had a lot of things going wrong. I had just lost over $3 million in different investments, 3 different investments. But good news, yesterday I got 50K of one of them back. Yay, it's a start. And so lost over $3 million investments, had a $1.2 million expense from the hotel. My oldest son wasn't talking to me. I was just getting my butt kicked left and right, just punched to the face, just beaten and broken. And I'm frustrated because I feel like I've been so obedient to you, Lord. Right. And that was when I was in servanthood. Right. I just thought he was the boss and I just do whatever he says. And versus sonship. Right. And so I'm in prayer and I'm like, Lord, why is all this stuff happening? I'm just frustrated. And I had to keep breaking you so you would keep searching to find the need to love yourself. That's what I got. Now I heard in my own inner voice, right? But those aren't my words. I didn't understand what those words even meant. What does that even mean? And so I was very confused, I'm like, well, clearly that's not my words. Like, what was that? What does that mean? And it wasn't until 2 weeks later that he revealed to me that I had a pattern that every single night of my life, I would run an audit of the day and I would find one thing to beat myself up about. So either I blew a sales call or I ate a cupcake or I yelled at my kid, or I would find one reason to beat myself up. There was one thing I screwed up that day, and I had done that every day of my life. So I was a vicious, brutish bully to myself. So there's a part of me that hated myself, and I didn't even know that. I didn't recognize that. He knew that. And he knew that it would take the crunching, the refining, and it's cool, if you study, how do they refine, silver? So, put it in the furnace, burn, and it burns until you know that it's ready when you can see your reflection in it. So sometimes he allows us to be in that space until he can see where we're growing with him. He can see us and him. And so it's but what the enemy wants is you to stare at the situation, for you to stare at what's wrong, for you not to turn to God, turn to the storm. Right. So, I mean, and let's all jump overboard, right? Let's all like abandon ship, right? And so, no, he's with us in our storms, but freaking out is optional. We don't have to stare at the storm. And I've had a lot of different chances to be freaked out by a storm. I just didn't. And I talk about that in both my last books. Does that help at all?
Yes, it does so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Really helpful to hear your experience. It helps me clarify more what I'm going through and feeling. And I'm totally staring at the situation and in resentment at God.
Absolutely.
How long it's all taking. Like, I think I know I'm getting into that. So this is really super helpful. Thank you so much. I love everything.
And ask his, so at least for me, okay, he's always willing to tell me the promise. He's usually not willing to tell me the provision. And there's a difference. And by the way, I have never, not one time, got the provision when I thought I should get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll give me the promise. This is what we're doing. And with the promise, we can walk through any obstacle. So David, right, it wasn't necessarily that he was so brave and amazing. I mean, he was, but he had a promise from Sam that he was going to be king. So he literally has life insurance against Goliath. He literally knows he can't die. It's impossible for him to die. He could have gone in there with some, silly putty, right? And somehow he would have defeated Goliath because Samuel called him, you're going to be king. So he was walking in God's promise. So he knows he can't die. I can't die. It's impossible to die. And same with Abraham. It's revealed in the book of Hebrews that Abraham was willing to sacrifice Isaac because the Lord had already told him that he was going to build a nation out of it, out of Isaac, right? And in the book of Hebrews, it says that Abraham just figured, he'll probably just resurrect him. No biggie. Raise the knife, right? That's intense. But he was walking in the promise. Now he and he even knew, like, I guess you could say the provision, sort of, right? He knew that he would be the father of nations. And so it's, ask the Lord, who do you want to be for me in this situation? Lord, what does this situation mean about me and you? Who do you want to be for me that you couldn't be without this situation?
Mm.
They're great questions to ask. Lord, what's the promise? What's your plan for me? Here's one, it'll rock you. Lord, what did you intend for me to be when you made me? When I first heard that, I bawled, I cried. Isaiah 55:8-9 says his ways are higher than my ways. And what he told me was so much bigger than anything I've ever had in my little worldly goals. It was so much bigger. And so I never would have been bold enough to even ask for something like that. And so start asking, different questions, but it's turn to him. The faster we turn to him, the faster that storm goes away. We turn,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had things that really should have gotten my attention. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm focusing over here. I focus on the Lord. And I focus on the Lord, that thing just goes to nothing. So many times. So we're rooting for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the support and the accountability to just
got it.
keep
Yeah.
pace in the right direction. Thanks so
Got
much.
it. Awesome. Well, cool, guys. I got to hop off here. So I appreciate you guys. Let me pray us out. So, Father, we're so grateful for you. Father, thank you for your presence. Father, thank you for drawing all of us closer to you, Lord. Father, thank you for blessing everyone on here. Thank you for blessing them from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet, Lord. Father, thank you for helping all of us to see ourselves the way that you see us, Lord. Thank you for helping us believe in your ability more than any disability of our own, Lord. Father, we know that you love us. We know that you will never leave us or forsake us. We know that you're with us in the storms, and you're with us in the valleys and in the mountains. And thank you for helping us to realize that, Lord. We're so grateful for you. You're worthy of all praise. You're worthy of all glory and power and strength. And we're just so honored to be your children. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Appreciate you guys so much. Have an amazing session. Have an amazing weekend session. I don't know. Have an amazing weekend. Have fun. Bye, guys.